ladies and gentlemen. Well, as you can see right here, we've got our lovely trans oil temperature gauge, which happens to be quite a bit hot right now. Now, we could do testing like normal people, you know, hook a trailer up and go on normal cruises and drives like one might do, but why would we do that when we can just do a couple burnouts, a couple rips, and just show you guys extreme worst case scenario how hot this transmission may or may not be getting. Obviously, we're in park. The air conditioning's off. We've got something to fix this. That's what we're gonna be getting into today, but we at least had to try to get it a little warm. And we're gonna go ahead and install some parts, and this should drastically be different. We just had the truck outside. We actually did let it run for, I would say, about 10 or 15 minutes in neutral, which technically circulates trans fluid quicker, and turned our air conditioning on, which should kick our fan clutch on. So again, trying to move more air across the factory transmission cooler, and we are still staying around 190 on our pan temp. What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to another video, one that I know you will enjoy and that you need to know and hear about, because if you're anything like me and you have Dodge trucks, I don't care what generation Dodge trucks, the topic of transmissions just always happens to follow these wonderful trucks, whether you like it or not. So what we've got for you today is a new product that has just been released not all that long ago for a second gen and a third gen Dodge Ram, obviously with the diesel, with the 47RH RE and the 48 RE transmission. We have got a beefcake of a transmission cooler upgrade and a line upgrade kit from none other than the guys at Fleece. Now, if you're familiar with these trucks, or maybe if you're not, you want to get a little lesson on some schooling here. They have transmission problems, right? The cooling is a big part of keeping transmission alive and happy. The factory transmission coolers, especially in second gens, and the lines that go along with them, are just garbage. They're not any good. There's plenty of room for upgrade, and that's what the guys at Fleece have taken care of. They have got a cooler that is about double the size of a factory cooler, and when we get our factory one out, you guys will see how rinky-dink small the factory coolers are in these trucks, but the cooler is going to drop temperatures significantly. That's what we were doing before. We're doing a little torture testing on some temperatures, so the cooler is massive. It's double the surface area. It flows more. It is just better all around, and we'll get into some of that. Along with that, they've got their heavy duty, I would call it almost like a hydraulic hose style AN line kit that goes along with it. So the factory lines are metal ones, as you guys will pop underneath here with us and see. Our lines on this truck are a little corroded. They're a little nasty. So we're going to be upgrading the lines. We're going to be upgrading the cooler. This is the second gen kit over here. Not to mention, just so you guys know, I mean, obviously you guys don't need to be told about how better third gens are to second gens, but take a look at how small the second gen cooler is. Now the factory one's even smaller than this, which is crazy, but the third gen one here, as you can see, nice unit. Right behind the intercooler, so we'll take apart the front end a little bit to kind of get access to that, and we're just going to jump in and go ahead and install this sweet product from the guys over at Fleece. Drop in, no cutting, no splicing, no nonsense. You guys know how Fleece does it. Easy. They give you everything you need, from the fittings to the hose, all the miscellaneous stuff. So going to be a drop-in kit for a third gen or a second gen, 94 to 02, and then 03, I believe, to 07, 08. We'll check that year down here, but second gen, third gen, you guys know the drill. Like I mentioned, once you pop the hood on your third gen truck, you have got your AC condenser, your intercooler, and then this is your top support piece here. And right behind, right in there, you guys can see your transmission cooler is right in between your radiator and your intercooler. So now that this truck has cooled down just a little bit and I don't want to burn my hands off, we'll go ahead and start removing that. Tech tip of the day, you do not need to completely disconnect your AC condenser and worry about your air conditioning system. These lines have enough flex in them that you can unbolt this and kind of like swivel this out of your way, and then you can get your intercooler out and that'll slide right up. But you don't need to disconnect your air conditioning system. It can be kind of like worked around, so to say. And then we will get to that little puny transmission cooler behind there. We've got our intercooler out of the way, and now what we can see here is this would be you versus the fleece cooler would be the guy she told you not to worry about. So this puny little trans cooler, that's definitely you. This is what's not gonna get the job done. As you can see how thin this thing is. We'll show you a little bit better when we get it out, but factory trans cooler lines kind of snake down in here through underneath our intercooler boot. Underneath our intercooler pipe, you can see our factory transmission cooler lines. They kind of come right along through here. As you can see, this one right here, not looking so hot. These tend to get a little rusty. We definitely have some rusty lines on here, but they do run to this heat exchanger on the side of your engine block. Now, coolant circulates through there and transmission fluid circulates through there. The fleece kit does bypass the heat exchanger, so there is no transmission fluid going to be running through that heat exchanger. Now, it's a catch-22 if you live in a very, very, very cold climate, one that we do not really experience here, nor do most anybody. The transmission fluid will actually kind of pick up temperature from that heat exchanger and actually warm up the fluid. We don't have to worry about that. The big catch-22 on that heat exchanger is when they fail, and they do all the time, you end up mixing coolant and transmission fluid together, which pretty much wipes out your transmission. So a lot of people will just bypass them completely. So our new hoses that come with the fleece kit run from the cooler right to the transmission. There is no heat exchanger, but as far as like removing factory lines to install this kit, we will be removing transmission lines from the cooler, from the heat exchanger down to the transmission. So that's what we're moving to next now that we've accessed our cooler. If you wanted to do this the correct way, you would actually have a special tool that would slide in here and unconnect that. Seeing how corroded those are and how much I really do not care about our factory lines, we are gonna take this quick removal tool here, also known as some cutters, and we are just gonna go like so. And like I said, we will make a mess. And we won't have to worry about those fittings right there, because obviously they're not going to be reused. Yes. Where this piece, this brass piece, goes into the transmission, you don't want to over tighten that, because if you over tighten that, see how thin the metal is on the actual case of the transmission? You can assume what might happen if one were to over tighten something on a thin housing. Not very good. I'm not going to say what might happen, because then, you know, me being the over tightener that I am, might have an issue. But all right, there we go. All right. So if you look up here, the factory transmission lines, this front one runs right up to the heat exchanger right up there. So we'll loosen that one, and then the other transcooler line is, I believe, the one right above that. So from the transmission to the heat exchanger to the cooler, cooler to the heat exchanger back to the transmission. You know, there's a big love circle of coolers and exchangers.
Oh my gosh, you're making a mess, bro.
I told you, the mess likelihood of this is definitely very high. Oh yeah, we're dripping down the bell housing now. Oh, this is great. I'm sure there's a nicer way to evacuate the system, but that's not usually our MO. So we're just gonna keep rolling like this.
Tech tip: bring all the drain pans you have.
You might need a few. So just in case your wrenches don't work, they also make this thing called the Sawzall that will also make cutting these lines off easier. Because that fitting does not want to spin from its adapter fitting, and it now does spin freely in the direction that we need it to. Couple other things on the fleece cooler before we head and slap this bad boy in here. So this is Fleece's own cooler. It's not some universal, you know, Joe Schmo blow cooler. So they had this designed, literally wind tunnel tested to make sure that it is the baddest mamma jamma out there. So 100% leak tested, leak proof, pressure tested, so that way you know you're getting something that has no issues. Basically double the size of a factory cooler, maybe not in width like this, but as if you measure the extra over here and how thick it is, basically 2 times the cooler that you will ever be. I mean, that's about it. We're gonna put this bad boy in there and then we'll go back out and do some torture testing. If you look right here, not that you guys wouldn't read the instructions, you guys would never not read the instructions, but 90-degree fitting on a super long hose over on this side. This tight, I believe it is like a 120-degree fitting or something like that. This real funky one right here, there's only one of those. That goes on this fitting right here to kind of get that angle down. That's the way you know which hoses go. This is the way they tell you to kind of route them in here. I'm gonna go ahead and put the front end back together real quick because we're pretty much done right here. So bolted right up. I mean, fit and finish on fleece, always on point. So we'll wrap the front end up and then run our lines, attach them to the transmission. We did lose a decent amount of fluid, so maybe like a quart or so. We'll check that and we'll be ready to do some burnouts. I mean, drive completely normal. Ready now? Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. We're threading in the last line here. Line fitment is perfect once you get her situated in the engine bay how they need to be. Nice, tidy up out of the way. Look at that. Oh yeah.
Nicely done.
Nicely done. All right, guys, we are pretty much wrapped up with our install. We've got our fleece transmission cooler installed. Our lines are secured. We checked our transmission fluid. Quick tech tip, this thing is going to drain some transmission fluid and takes a little bit more fluid because it's such a bigger cooler. Roughly about 3 to 4 quarts is what I put back in this truck. Again, depending if you got a built transmission, this and that, but just make sure you got some fluid, transmission fluid on hand while you're doing this install. You don't want to run out last minute when you don't have a truck because it's a whole thing. So make sure you got transmission fluid and make sure you guys are checking your truck in neutral while it's warm. Transmission fluid's a little bit of a tricky thing to kind of like check if you're not used to doing it, but truck needs to be in neutral and you need to kind of like let it warm up. If you're checking it while it's cold, it's always going to grow and rise. So don't put it all the way up to the max while it's cold because then you'll be overfilled. So just a quick little tech tip, but we're wrapped up, we're ready to go. Everything's good, we're not leaking. It's time to test this thing, do a little torture testing to see if the cooler is 2 times as cool. We were driving the truck around for lunch already, kind of like seeing what normal cruising temperatures would be. I would say before we were in like the 140s, 145s, and just cruising down the road, letting it sit, and I let it idle while we were eating our entire lunch, and cruising around. We're about like 130s now, so I would say even just normal right off the bat, we're running about at least 10 degrees cooler than what we were just doing the same thing before we start getting crazy with it. So let's get crazy with it, let's see what it does. scientific test. That was 3 average passes by the house and 1 really good burnout. As you can see, it's doing the same overheating high idle thing. Science.
Holy cow, it's way lower.
She's not even 170. Wow, she's still in park. No AC mod on. I mean, she might get up there. We'll keep an eye on her. So again, like the whole point of like a bigger core is not like actually more flow through it, more space, which it is, but also will dissipate heat with no airflow movement at all either. So that's what this is trying to simulate too, because if you're stuck in traffic and you have no airflow and your AC is not on, like what are you gonna do? You're relying on like the actual power of the cooler to kind of like pull heat out by itself. This is better than Bill Nye. I'm just saying, you know, I mean, we should get lab coats. Lab coats should be out, science. This thing is slow. What's up? Did you see me? Ah!
It sounds fast.
Sounds loud and obnoxious and slow.
You're like that typical cat-eye driver that floors it.
Going absolutely nowhere, but you can hear him from 17 miles away. Yeah, don't be that guy.
You are that guy.
No, don't be the. Yeah, we don't aim to be that guy. About 180.
Less than it was.
So I mean, I don't know how you. I mean, that's worst case scenario. Or if you're a tater, that's about an everyday scenario. You know. So I mean, that's proof. Proof the fleece cooler puts in work, man. Pick yourself one up today. FleecePerformance.com. All right, so I just put the truck in neutral and kicked our AC on. Let's see how fast it draws back down under a condition. If you were to say maybe get your truck hot, put it in neutral, turn the AC on, get that fan clutch moving. So let's see how much it cools down now. Granted, if you were to just drive down the road, I guarantee you it would just go straight right down, but that'd be too normal, that'd be too average. We don't want that. Worst case scenario science. Or as my man Weston would call it, redneck science. It's the same thing. Is pretty much going to wrap up our installation on the Fleece Performance 03 to 07 Dodge Ram 5.9 transmission cooler and line upgrade kit. Another 2 big thumbs up for really anything from the Fleece guys. Fit and finish, always on top. Had absolutely 0 issues installing anything, and the kit performs well. As you guys saw in our extremely scientific experiment, this thing does drop temperatures at least, I would say, 10 to 15, maybe even 20 degrees. Again, it's going to vary from truck to truck, whether you have a different transmission, a lot of different variables that could go into what you're going to benefit from, but it is definitely going to dissipate heat a lot quicker, drop trans temps, which overall is just going to keep a much happy, healthier transmission. So big investment in these trucks. Make sure you guys take care of it with an upgraded cooler. You replace those crappy lines, whether they're rotted out, they're just old. But again, FleecePerformance.com, go check them out. You guys will not be disappointed with anything from the guys over at Fleece. Happy to continue to support those guys. They support us, and just another top quality, top-notch product from those guys. So we'll see you guys in the next video very soon. We'll see you. Go pick up a cooler kit. We'll see you on the next one, boys.